Look, it is clear that Vice President Biden and others are running out of fear on the issue of immigration. They're afraid to say that we need to repeal the law that allows this Trump administration to separate little children from their parents. If you're going up against a bully like Trump, who is bold and fearless, the answer is not to run out of fear. You know, if somebody elects me president, they're electing me to lead, not to follow. That's what I'm going to do. This campaign is going to be bold. It's going to be fearless. Donald Trump has not been bashful in his cruelty, and I'm not going to be bashful in my common sense and compassion.
I mean, look, our entire criminal justice system is broken. So yes, I would end the federal marijuana prohibition. I would expunge people's records who have fallen victim to this archaic law that's in place. I would end the cash bail system. I've been opposed and I am opposed to the death penalty. We need to make sure that we continue to push to make sure that no innocent person is held on death row. Unfortunately, Senator Kamala Harris is proud of the record that she had in California, where when given the opportunity to get an innocent person off of death row, she fought from having that evidence put forward until the courts forced her to do so. To me, as an American, that's just unacceptable. That's not the kind of leadership.
Is it enough for Gavin said?
Well, let me just start by saying my entire career has been about fighting for civil rights and fighting for people's freedoms and fighting for equality. My entire career. From fighting for marriage equality and being one of the leaders in the United States when many Democrats were talking about civil unions way back in 2004, I was performing marriages. My fight for civil rights has included what we need to do to reform the criminal justice system, what we need to do to pass comprehensive immigration reform, and I could go on and on. So I put my reputation and my record up against anyone. And frankly, I think that, as it relates to what we need going forward, we need to have a president of the United States who has a track record of actually working on these issues.
And I think my plan is so much better than the one that Bernie and Elizabeth Warren and Kamala has proposed. Just because an idea is big doesn't mean it's good. And the idea that they have proposed literally raises taxes on the American people by more than $30 trillion over the decade. As I said, that is 70% of what we collect in revenue in the federal government for every operation that we do in the federal government today. It's almost doubling the size of the revenue that we collect. And the idea that we would say to people in America, what we're going to do is take away the decision you make for your family based, on your employer's insurance, and make you pay taxes on top of that, it just it won't hold up.
That I think it was fair to point out that I am the only candidate who will make defeating climate change the number one priority of the United States. That's instructive, and people now need to decide who their nominee will be. I am totally convinced we will be the most unified Democratic Party we've ever been. In part, because we have a white nationalist in the White House, and we are bound and determined to remove him and make him a blip in history. That's going to unite us big time.
Governor, will you promise your candidate?